Hello and welcome to another episode of 10 Minute Tones. In this episode, I'm going to cover an amp that I'm excited about and that I've never played before. This is a suggestion from Rodolfo. Thank you for bringing this amp back up. You suggested that I look at it, and I actually went to look at my list of amps that I want to do these 10 Minute Tones videos about, and this one was already on there because I had noticed this comment one day, just scrolling through, I think, the list of amps. One of the best amps in the world, in my opinion. And I think this was Cliff saying this, Fractal guy. And so, obviously, he knows a lot about a lot of different amps. Anytime you hear, this is the best amp in the world, I don't really care who it's from, you should probably check it out, right? So that's interesting. And then another thing that's interesting about this amp is you can't get it anymore. And the guy, Alan Phillips from Carol Ann, actually helped out with the modeling of the amp, sent a schematic over, et cetera, et cetera. And he's been pretty active on the forums, or at least he was. So I'm just going to pull out a couple of things he said. There's a lot of conversation about what cabs to use on the forums with this amp. And he kind of poo-pooed that. He's like, look, the amp is pretty good with whatever you put into it, the real amp at least. And he says he uses Greenback 65s, that's his favorite, but he uses regularly these Celestion T75s. So we'll try the T75. There's a couple of T75 models. And yeah, there's two channels on this. There's a clean and a lead. The real amp has 3 channels, but 2 of them are exactly the same. So yeah, I'm gonna stop yakking and we're just gonna go for it. So I've got the amp pulled up here and I've got just a little bit of room reverb, and we haven't picked a cab yet. So let's look for that T75. I think it was these are Bognars. This one here, I think, is the one that I wanted to try. Oh, that's a legacy cab. Didn't realize that. All right, let's try it. This is my Exotic XSC 2 on the bridge humbucker. That is pretty dark. Let's go through some of these other T75s and see what we get. Oh, these are actually named by where they are. That's unusual for Fractal. I feel like was louder, but I also didn't love the tone. Anyways, here, let's keep going. Let me just try some single coils real quick. I think I like that one. 609, that's the flat Sennheiser one, I think. I think, maybe I'm wrong, it's been a long time since I've mic'd a cab. Ooh. think I like that one. We've messed around for 3 minutes here. Okay. Let's stick with that cab for now. I think that was pretty good. So we're on the clean channel, and the bridge pickup is pushing it. That's cool. Okay, so usually the first thing that I do on every amp that I know wasn't a master volume amp is turn the master volume way up. And even if they're not, I tend to do that anyways, just because it adds a little bit of extra, and you can always turn the level down, something you would never do in person. However, I don't know if I should do that here because this is a master volume amp, and Alan had multiple comments on the forums about, the amp really is probably living around, 10 o'clock, I think. And you can change the input gain. The controls here are a little bit different, right? You've got, on the amp, I think you have different controls for input gain and overdrive on each channel. So I'm assuming, I'm getting ahead of myself. I think I'm going to leave the input trim here. I'm not quite sure what the overdrive and I'm assuming the overdrive corresponds to this and the input gain corresponds to that. And we're just going to leave input gain at 1. Let's learn. We're here to learn. Let's just hear what the master volume does to the tone. So bridge pickup, clean channel, bridge pickup. Here we go. I'm going to max it out and we'll just see what the range is on this master volume. All right, I'm gonna leave it turned up. That was pretty cool. It's a little bit dark, so I'm gonna cut some bass. Actually, let's go back to the cab. I didn't test did my oomph test here. It's actually pretty even. Maybe I'll just put it at like 40 and just leave it there. It's sounding good to me. It's still a little bit dark, but it's not too bottomy. So I think we're in the space where I want to just play with the bass now. Yeah, that did what I want. Just added took away a little bit of that woofiness I was feeling, and now it was still pretty tight. Here, if I go back to 5, it was still pretty tight. It's it's on the edge of like, it's a little too loose. So if I back it off just a couple. All right, let's see if we can clean this up just with our guitar. So it's not cleaning up quite as much as I would want it to. But we did dime the master volume, so that's my own fault. Let's see. Let's bring the gain back just a little bit and see kind of what the min-max is on this. That brightened it up a little bit. This whole game is about clipping and EQ, and what I'm looking for is for the point where that that clipping, the overdrive is hitting, in whatever I'm doing, is hitting the sweet spot where it's not over compressing, it's not giving me frequencies that I don't want, but it's giving me enough of the energy and harmonics. Shut up and just play, okay. And I feel like that did that. I feel like at 5 here, I've got too much on this single coil pickup. It sounds great there. And then here, just a little bit much, but if I back it off, I'm really liking this. It's more that sort of like open, clean, chimey, clean sound that you, or at least I'm looking for. What am I playing? All right, this amp is very cool. I love that overdrive sound, that edge sort of sound on the bridge pickup I'm getting, and it's cleaning up really, really nicely. Let me add a delay because I am approaching my self-imposed time limit here. I'm gonna go stereo tape. And what did I want to do? Let's actually, since this is a multi-channel amp, let's go ahead and kind of think about what we've got here. We'll kind of copy that on the lead channel and tweak from there. So we've got the Carol Ann Tucana lead, and what did we do? We cut the bass like 3 and we dimed the master volume. So maybe I want a little bit of bass back. Now, personally me, I don't usually play with even that much gain, but let's kind of see what the lead situation is with. Super meaty, we could go crazy. Gain and overdrive is different. I don't really understand the difference between that. Let's really quick, let's tweak the overdrive and see what that. So yeah, that's way crazier than I would ever need. I like it maybe a little bit goose there. This amp is great. I'm gonna just leave it on this A channel here. When I upload the preset, I'll do, scene 2 will be channel B, scene A will be, or scene 1 will be channel A, the clean thing. But for me, I would probably, using this amp, I would just stay on the clean model. With a guitar like this, I think it would pair really well because I can get the cleaner sounds just by going to a single coil situation, and then on the bridge humbucker I can rock out and it sounds rocking. I don't really know what it sounds like. I heard people telling me that it sounded like a Dumble. Obviously, I don't know what a real Dumble sounds like. I mean, I know what it sounds like. I don't know what it feels like. But I've also heard it sounds kind of Marshall-y, kind of British. I don't know. It's It does both really well. It does a really good clean and it does a really good dirt sound. I didn't explore too much of the heavier stuff that it can do, but it seems like it could really, there was a lot more gain on tap. You could probably dial in more channels just right with this model and the lead model specifically, and get like more modern kind of stuff, because the low end wasn't flubby at all. Even when the bass was up and it was a little woofy, it didn't feel loose, and it tightened up really easily. So anyways, I'm gonna quit yakking. Thank you so much for watching if you have been, and remember, if it sounds good, it is good.